sorry I attacked you. Like I always do.
Okay. So I'm back at Iron Horse right now, and I wanted to show you where he was hiding. Here at the end. See that tree? He was parked back here. And originally, Kimmy and I were right here. And Kimmy's van was right over here. And when I was waiting for her to find her keys, I was over in here. Could be even my tracks right there. So I was here waiting, and he was back there, behind there. I couldn't see him. And it was very dark. And then that next spot is where he pulled and waited, pulled over in the first or second time, not the last time really. Well, you can go up a little bit further, up behind those cars, but again behind trees. So that's what it looks like in the day. Cheeky. Okay. I know, he's a jerk, huh? He's a jerk. Yeah, he just pulled up during the day, and I'm gonna leave and get my stuff together before he gets out. Yep. A shitty day anyway. There you go, Jay. I hope you're listening. This would be good to add on to the video. Such a creep. Hi, dummy. Okay, so this is, I just want to show you what this does to me. It's not terrible, but it's like if I were to, okay, because I like to draw and paint and stuff, that's going to be a problem. I should show you also, if I can get my phone to zoom in. Let's see. So, okay, that's Jay over there. He's parked over on the other side. With his headlights on to make sure I know that he's over there. God, he's lame. Lame. And then he texted last night saying that he's upgraded. Well, go be with your upgrade. If that's true. She probably, if there is another gal, she's probably not going to stick around too long when she sees a lot of this shit. Because this ain't nothing new. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with Jay Kaichis being a danger to society, a threat to women, a con artist, a thief, an abuser, and acting all nice and sweet and sensitive to fool everybody, and then turning everyone against his victim so no one will believe her. Yeah. I think your game's gonna be up, buddy.
The things we look for is, number one, if a person is plagued by self-doubt, they even find it difficult to make simple decisions like ordering in a restaurant or what class they should take at school or where they should even go to dinner. Those kinds of simple daily choices seem to get short-circuited by the fact that they no longer really trust their judgment. A second sign is a sense of helplessness. It feels like nothing that a person in a situation does works in that particular relationship. So whether they try to be nice, whether they try to be distant, whether they try to communicate more, nothing seems to work. And that's often because nothing will work. So as a result, what you'll see is people will say, I feel so helpless. And that helplessness starts to extend to other areas of their life. And the sad thing is helplessness is often one of the last stops on the train before hopelessness, which can then often be associated with things like depression. A third thing we'll often see is social withdrawal. People will often be very embarrassed, ashamed, confused, or humiliated by being in these relationships. They can't see a way out. They're often afraid of being judged. They feel silly that they're in this situation. And as a result, instead of seeing themselves as human, that any of us could be in this situation, they'll often withdraw from other people. They're sometimes also afraid that if they share what's happening in their relationship, other people are going to tell them, you need to get out, and they don't feel ready yet.
Right.
Number 4 is a lot of anxiety.
Yep.
Now, anxiety is very non-specific. We're living in the era of anxiety. Everyone is experiencing it. But this is a specific kind of an anxiety. It's anxiety that does come from helplessness, and it can be manifested by constantly worrying, not just about the relationship, but about a variety of issues. Anxiety about what will happen if this relationship ends, anxiety about what will happen if this relationship sticks around, and then that can also impact other areas of life like eating, sleeping. It just becomes sort of this overall sense of worry that can really overwhelm the person.
Now, what about the final and fifth one?
I think the final and fifth one is something I would call a chronic sense of second guessing. That it kind of relates to that sense of self-doubt, but there is second guessing about bigger ticket items. What if I had done this? What if I hadn't done this? And the challenge then becomes, as a person, often then becomes paralyzed when they're in these relationships. They tend to feel like they can't move any which way. They can't move to get out of it. They can't move to communicate about it. They can't even move in other areas of their life. So I guess it would be second guessing and paralysis that many people in these relationships feel like no matter which way they move, they're walking into an abyss. And so they feel absolutely paralyzed, absolutely stuck. And then they start to second guess every decision that they've ever made in their entire lives. And obviously these 5 signs, and there's lots of others, things like depression and sadness and sometimes irritability. People don't feel like themselves. But those 5 signs are the patterns we most typically see in people who are enduring narcissistic abuse.